So, happy Saturday, people out in internet land. So it's about 9:20 Eastern Standard Time in the evening, and Roxy and I are kind of thinking about the day. It's been a really normal day in some respects, and a very abnormal day. And one of the things that I haven't shared, not that it's a secret, but it's just something. Why would you share something like this? But so Allison and I have been, for the last 6 months now, we're working on getting legal guardianship for our son Wilson. As most of you know, those who follow or what have you, me or Allison. So Wilson is autistic, and he's 21. And in addition to his autism, he suffers from anxiety, high anxiety, and depression. And both those challenges run in both sides of our families, outside of the autism piece. And in addition, Wilson is autistic and has some very significant cognitive impairments. And it's been a very hard road so far since he was diagnosed at 2.5, almost 3. And people sometimes will ask, well, why didn't you request guardianship when he turned 18? And there's a variety of reasons why we didn't. Life was very hectic, was one. We've been struggling with trying to find the right balance of medication and therapy for Wilson. And, when he turned 18, we had kind of made some major changes with his medications and wanted to see how that went and how it impacted particularly his anxiety, because in many respects, Wilson is very intelligent, but his anxiety will just, throw him off the bridge in a sense. Not literally, but certainly mentally and emotionally. And so we wanted to see how that went, if he really required a guardianship, and we didn't know as much about guardianships as perhaps we should have. In any event, we've seen, while his medication changes have really resulted in some positives for him, he still really struggles with the anxiety and his ability to access the knowledge he has. I mean, there are some people we know on the spectrum that are academically brilliant, that had no struggles whatsoever with standardized tests, but Wilson was not one of those. And so there are definite cognitive impairments that he has to bear in this world and in this life. So in any event, all said and done, he turned 21 in December, and for the last 6 months we've been actively pursuing that legal guardianship. And with COVID, things have been delayed. We're working with a very good lawyer. We wanted to just make sure we didn't miss any steps. And so at this point, all our paperwork has been filed with the Plymouth Probate Court. And today we met with the court-appointed attorney. And the meeting went very well. And I think between our attorney and the court-appointed attorney, things are looking pretty straightforward when we actually will have a court date and all things considered equal, we should be granted the legal guardianship for our son. And that's a good thing. But at the same time, I was sitting this morning with my wife and my son and this court-appointed attorney. He was a very nice, kind man. And as we were kind of getting near the end of the meeting, I just was thinking, and my eyes were filling up. And I mean, I held it together, but I thought, this is what we need for Wilson and what Wilson needs. But at the same time, I wish to God it didn't have to be this way. I mean, you would think people would say, well, my goodness gracious, you've known this for 18 plus years. You should be resigned to the fact. You should be accepting of the fact and all those things. But the God's honest truth is, I'm not. Speaking for myself. And I know my wife isn't. And you try to accept, and you try to make the best, and you say it could be so much worse. And there are a variety of situations out there that could and are worse. But at the same time, you just want so much more. You don't want what you have sometimes. And that's what I was thinking. And this lawyer left, and we're just now waiting for the court date. But I was just so sad, and privately with Allison, I just cried. And I said, I don't want this. And I knew she understood, because she doesn't want it either. The situation. But all I can do is take one day at a time. I mean, that's all one can do, is take one day at a time and hope for the best and do the best one can.